I'm on time.
Yeah, so good morning and welcome back. So glad to meet you once again.
Thank you. Thank you.
And yeah, I was
You,
going through your worksheet and the mind map and all of that. So last half an hour, 1 hour, I was just going through all of that. And yeah, it's lovely. Of course, we'll discuss a lot more about it.
good. Thank you. Yeah, no, I definitely had a problem. I tried to do the gratitude map. I really did. So um I I couldn't even start. Uh I looked at yours on LinkedIn, thought about those categories, and I I got very anxious about the whole thing.
Okay.
Um, but I
No
do
worries.
want to do it. I think it will be really wonderful. And um, I really do on LinkedIn, I commented that it's something to hang next to my desk. It's like a thing that you want to, put on a pillow or something like that so you can look at it all the time, right? But then you can't add to it. So, anyways, um, and there is another mind map that I want to do. um, I really feel I need to understand in the way that you showed how to make a decision based on, emotions and thoughts, not just on facts. And so I want to do that about how much do I still want to be active in this technology world and how much not. So I I'm just like it's so strange right now. I'll have a really good interaction
Mhm.
with one of my old techie friends or a new one or a new topic grabs me, and I'll be really excited about it. And then I'll be like, am I supposed to be doing this? So I can't,
I
yeah.
understand. So yeah, because you told about gratitude first, so why don't we start with that first today? Let's start with that.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. You'll hold my hand as I work through this. And
Okay.
I think the daily gratitude thinking and writing what I'm grateful about and the different themes, that will really help. So I'm not starting from scratch. I've done
Yeah,
my research.
surely. And yeah, I saw that. And okay, let's start with gratitude first. Let me just go to MindMeister. And okay,
I'm just grabbing my journal where I
sure.
write these things down.
And instead of doing this, let me give you two options now, because it's always good to have a lot of options. Do you remember the word anti-fragile from our book?
Yes, from
That it's
the
always
thinking.
good to have a lot of
Yes.
options. So here as well, because this was not planned. We thought we'll pick up gratitude later, but because we started with this, so let's do it first. So this is one way of gratitude where we put everything in one map. And this is something generally people do, maybe once in a while, not like on a regular basis, once in a while, or maybe they just want that one day in a particular month, I'm or maybe one day in a week, I'm giving just like 1 hour of my time just to feel, or I won't say feel, to experience, actually to experience that gratitude for every single thing in my life right now. So what I'm grateful for today may change after 1 month. Maybe a lot of more will get added to my list. So this is when we talk about the map that you see right now on the screen. So this is one way.
Yeah.
The other way is when what we do is we pick up just one area, just one area. For example, I remember this man who did his mind mapping, this kind similar kind of sessions like how you are doing. So he's 54 years, and after we did the session and all, so I was like, okay, you have to make. He was like, he did an offline session with me where we were actually making mind maps and all those things. And he said, okay, let me make a gratitude map for my amma, means mother. Okay,
Oh,
and he made a small picture of him and his mother first, and then in another page it was him, small, just that stick diagram with a boy, small boy, and a little bit taller person, which is his
oh,
dad. And then he, though he is 54 years, his mother is 80 now, and father is no more. But he
oh,
went back to his childhood and thought about all the principles, about how they have, the principles that they have. Even his dad is not with him, but what he has taught him. He also thought about some funny moments and he laughed. So he took some half an hour for mom and half an hour for dad, and he drew only for that. So he just picked up one particular person from life. There are other people who do what they do is, okay, today I'm going to feel grateful only for my job, or for the financial stability that I have in my life. And then they sit, and every time may not be mind mapping, but then, for example, I say, okay, I'm so grateful for the financial stability I have in my life. I have a house, I have a home, I have a family. So I just think that, okay, because of the money that I have in my life, a sustainable amount, what happens is I am able to take care of my family. I'm able to also help people in need. So, what are the things that I can do because of the financial stability? And I feel so grateful for becoming an instrument of help to somebody else. So just picking up one particular area and then feeling gratitude. I mean,
mm,
expressing your grateful gratitude. So whichever way you like. And some people even thank their body. I remember a person, she put herself at the
wow.
center and she said she is grateful for her physical health. And then she thought about all her body parameters for 2, 3 minutes. She is grateful for her physical, emotional health. And then all of that, she said that she's also grateful that she is able to do exercise daily. So all that, and then uh, it also adds, that experience is beautiful actually. So
Mm-hmm.
I think I've been talking a lot about this, but then I would want you to choose any one thing, either a complete map like this or just one small area, and let's say we'll do for 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, I'd like a larger map. I
Mhm.
think the more areas would be really good.
Okay, so sure, let's start with this then, and yeah, so you can write down, and then maybe let's start with things, or let's start with self. I would encourage you to
Yeah.
first put with self first, and these are just some examples. In self, you can just think about anything that you're grateful to yourself. For example, when I think about, even if I was able to volunteer in some um event, or I could help somebody, I feel that it's not a charity, but it is, I should be grateful for getting that chance.
Mm-hmm.
And because I have the resources, and hence I can help somebody else. So,
Yep. Yep.
I think it in that way. So let's start then. Let's do this.
Yes.
Yeah, if you have the
Let's
pen
start,
and
yeah,
paper.
with self for sure. And
Yeah.
I'd probably want to add to that kind of self-care
Yeah,
or
sure.
appreciation, self-appreciation.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Um, because
I mean,
that's something
these are
I've
just
had to really
examples.
work on.
Yeah, you're free to put whatever you want, but let's do it right away. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great.
Yeah. So you have a pen and paper?
I do. I have a pen. I'm trying to figure out what kind of paper. I'll just use my big giant
Yeah,
paper.
yeah.
So big giant
Yeah,
paper.
yeah, this is lovely
Turn
because
the page.
there's so much space to even add on later.
Yeah, because I have a feeling, um, yeah, after listening to the TED Talks on from I cannot pronounce his name, Miha, but very, very interesting about the talk about the things that people love. And so I think the gratitude will be overlapping with things I love. And so,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
okay.
So I think the self brand should be the biggest one here because there will be so much about self that you would be like to be grateful about. Uh,
It's becoming that way. It's great. And I may look a little weird because I broke my glasses. And so
okay.
I'm gonna wear my sunglasses.
Oh, sure, sure,
Look
please.
at the screen better. Okay,
Sure.
great. So I'm going to
Yeah.
start with
Self,
which branch?
self.
Self. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
And maybe at the center, you can write gratitude or thank you or something like that with a little bit
Yeah.
bold letters, capital letters, a big thank you at the center as a central
Okay. I
image.
wrote good, good. And for self, I do volunteer. I love volunteering. I want to do more. So volunteer goes English tutoring, social justice, and then political action. Okay, so so the other ones were social justice
Okay.
and political action. So I volunteer for campaigns and things like
Okay.
that.
Okay. Lovely. So yeah, volunteering in this. And would you like this to remain accomplishments?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So I would want you to just reflect, maybe take 1 minute or 2 minutes and just think about some significant accomplishments and thank yourself for that.
Yeah, yeah. Whew. Whew. Some of these things have a little bit of anxiety with them, but yeah. Um,
Some accomplishments or some difficult
yeah,
situation that you might have faced and still, you find endeavor.
yeah. So I put education,
Mm,
um, and I I did a separate one for degrees because um, that took a lot of willpower and focus. Um, job roles,
okay.
um,
So in accomplishments, you have job roles.
yes,
Mm,
job roles and education. I guess we can put it, we'll just leave education because I'll make degrees under education when I draw this out.
mhm.
Um, I published a book. I with a person we published, we collected and we commissioned, collected, published a set of essays. Half of them were in German, half of them were in English. So that was a lot of work and a very great thing. And then the articles I've written, and then the translations that I do.
Wow.
I'm just very grateful that I've had those opportunities, that I have the skills, that I have the perseverance and wisdom to do these things. And I had to do it all on my own. My parents refused to give me money for my education, my college.
Oh,
They did not think a girl should have a college education.
Okay.
because that would make her unmarriageable, and it's just a waste. It was horrible.
I understand.
And I was stubborn. Yes, yes. Very good. Thank you.
Because this is so powerful when you say that. I'll highlight it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, good.
Okay. Would you like to write something about your nature? One I know for sure is compassion. I will write
Thank
compassion
you.
there.
Thank you. Yes, and peace loving. So not not angry. Um,
Peace loving,
yes.
caring.
Yes, very. Um, attentive, like I really pay attention to other people.
You're a good listener.
Yes. And I do think I'm just thoughtful.
Yeah, pardon?
Yeah.
Compassion, peace loving, caring, kind, attentive, good listener,
And thoughtful, just
thoughtful. Okay. So even to have this quality on your own, or maybe to inherit, or maybe through, as you said, to have all that wisdom to, because some people
yeah.
just they reach the end of their life without in ignorance. So I think that
And
have
and yeah, I share yes, it's wisdom that is, I want to say benign, it's not harmful, but yes, wisdom.
yeah, because sometimes that ignorance is literally harmful. Our
Yes,
ignorance may be harming or hurting or harming others. So that.
absolutely.
So yeah, lovely.
I see a lot of that.
Wow. I can see now. The moment the branches increases, I feel so happy about it. So yeah, we have thank you for being a self-made person and being you are as your nature, compassionate, peace loving. Lovely. So shall we move to the other branch? I mean, you could complete the map also on your paper.
Yeah. Mm. Yes.
Okay. So let's move to the other branch and we'll open this again. So what are the things for which you are grateful, And
Things.
this is just
Yes.
very basic I have written because it will all depend from person to person. For example, I'm just grateful because I finally live in a place, in a home where I have space and garden, for example.
Yes. No, I'm very grateful for my home, and this it's on an acre of land which is mostly wild forest.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for my home.
And why
Um,
is that so? Can we extend that a little bit?
um, the the space, the many rooms.
Okay, so that will come under space. Uh,
Okay. And also the
I think maybe the
yeah, the setting, the yard, the I don't know what we want to call it,
how you call it?
the
This
area.
the area, or maybe the beauty, the natural, as you
Yeah,
said.
yes, natural beauty. Or I mean, it's not that gorgeous like yours, but it's I think it's beautiful. All nature is beautiful.
All nature is beautiful. We have a lot of trees. We have a lot of trees.
Nice. Yeah, we do too. And yeah, I love our
And,
trees.
and
Um,
maybe you have some plants, indoor, outdoor.
Plants, no, I kill plants. Um, the oh, what I don't know. The like I have some really pretty vases and pots and
Oh, wow.
collectibles maybe.
Okay. And okay, collectibles and artifacts maybe.
Yeah, great. And books. I have lots. I have space for lots and lots.
So the moment you put some stretch upon something that you have a lot of books, I put it in capital letter just to tell my mind, okay, I have a lot of books and they are the main attraction or something like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So anything else that you would like to add? This is very basic. We could delete all of this and put in whatever you say. This is just
Yeah,
a template, yeah.
for home, that's really kind of enough, I guess.
Okay. And anything else you would be any other thing that you are grateful for right now at this moment? Of course, this can
Yeah, I
change
mean,
after some time, but at this moment, as you think.
yeah, so I would I mean, yes, I'm very grateful for the clean water. I think every time I open the faucet, I just think of, the women that have to walk or girls that have to walk 2 miles to get water that's maybe not even that clean. I always very grateful for that. Yeah, privileged, that's exactly it. And food is there too, and the fact that there's living here, there's such easy access to all kinds of food. Um, again, it's very privileged. And to the access, I would add transportation because it really means a lot that, I
Yeah.
live here an hour away from a large internet, the Boston airport. It's a large international airport. You can get anywhere from it, and we're close to really good roads, and I have a car, and there's public transportation. So that is an important thing that I can build out.
Yeah.
Cool.
And yeah, you already wrote about education. So should we delete it from here?
Yes, yes.
Mm. So maybe only
Access
one.
to cultural events, or to it's easy to go to a concert, to a play. I can always find something very nearby.
Place.
Um, Plays. I'm going to one Friday.
Oh, wow. Musical events.
Yes,
Wow, that's lovely.
and lectures. I really like.
Wow. So this is something we miss here, plays and lectures. Musical events we do have, but not much of lectures and plays. Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's here we have two public radio and television stations, and they arrange for a lot of free lectures, and then all the colleges and the
Oh,
museums, they all do a lot of lectures, and then I find them online.
wow. Wow, lovely.
So,
Lovely.
yeah.
Oh, so I think we have here for the things, more or less. Let us just see together. See, we started with just 4 points and now we have so many points.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to people. This is again another very important branch.
Yeah. So,
Mhm.
even though they're gone, I still definitely um care about them. And if we could add to family elders, because there were many people in my life that filled the gap
Mhm.
for having a dysfunctional mother. And they just took so much care of me, and it was great. So,
Uncle, aunts, or someone like that.
well, they're not blood relatives.
Mm. Okay, lovely.
So,
Mm.
yeah, maybe mentors
Okay,
or caretakers. I don't know.
okay. So yeah, but then you have their names in your mind, right? So even if it's not
Yeah,
here, but the moment you see that, you feel grateful thinking about the names of those people, and you can visualize.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
So do you want me to add or delete something from here?
No, no, those are in terms of family, that's definitely
Okay.
who I care about.
Anything else to add
Groups.
in family?
No,
Parents, grandparents, siblings, relatives, cousins, elders. I mean, this is just what I added. If you want, I can always add something more.
I mean, when with relatives, I think of them as the in-laws, but maybe we put in-laws, because I've been
Okay.
blessed with wonderful
Okay, I'll
in-laws.
just write in-laws. Yeah,
Great.
in-laws. And would you want to write spouse or no? Or it's okay.
Oh, yes, let's put spouse and let's put children.
Okay.
Child. Sorry. Yes, no, I'm very grateful for my spouse and my child. Yes.
How old he or she is? Child?
Went 24.
Okay. Wow. All
Yeah.
grown up.
Yeah. But she still lives at home because
Okay.
she's ill. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, child, spouse and child. I think that completes.
Yes. Yes.
And what sometimes people do is they make, they put pictures of, if they have a family picture or something, they will just put it
Mm-hmm.
in that photograph, they will just put it on the mind map at the side of the mind map as a
Oh,
picture or something. So it feels so good.
yeah.
And community.
Yes. Um, I don't belong to any clubs anymore.
Okay, so I'll just delete this.
Um, yeah, neighbors are unfortunately not so important. Man.
I mean, it could be even, your friends, or if maybe some
Oh,
community.
I know. Co-workers.
Yeah. So yeah.
Like coworkers, previous and current, they are my community in many ways. We take care of each other. There was just a
They're so
layoff
important. Yeah.
at my
And
former job, and we're all supporting each other.
so yeah,
Yeah,
co-workers
yeah.
and friends.
I can we add, yes, friends definitely, but they're also under community, but maybe they should be just under just themselves.
Yeah. So should I remove it from here? Yeah, this is better.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's really funny. My gratitude things, one of the themes was mentors, one of the themes was teachers. So
I,
that's perfect for me, the people that I'm very, very grateful for. Um,
Anything else that you would like to add? Anyone specific names or thinking about someone?
well, do you meet people in your life that are just so special and you see them doing such kindness and they become really
Anyone,
they
yeah, it could be anyone. Yeah.
yeah. So I don't want to say like coincidences or accidental people or can we put serendipity?
Oh, sure.
Because that's a little bit like random. You know, universe has given you some nice random connections. Oh, this is weird. Can I be grateful for people that I don't know? Like,
Yeah. I mean, you may not know the person directly, but somewhere, something in life, they could have
right.
inspired you, motivated,
Like,
anything. Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's people like, President Obama, Jimmy Carter, I'm really grateful for, I guess, public figures
Okay.
or
Should I write leaders?
heroes.
Leaders or heroes?
Yeah, leaders. Yes.
I'll just increase the size. Yeah, leaders.
Yeah.
And then serendipity, random connections, people. Okay, we'll just put it this way. Leaders means we understand that not necessary that they know us, but we know them.
Right, right. They are someone that literally I'm grateful for, right?
Yeah,
Very
we could be
grateful for.
grateful for our freedom fighters. We could be grateful for,
Yes.
like maybe someone from, maybe we haven't met that person, but has significantly contributed to our literature. So it could be just anyone,
Yes.
anyone. When we say
Yes.
people, it could be just anyone. Yeah. And this
So
could,
what
you
should
could
we call
increase.
that? Heroes? No, I don't know.
Yeah, we can call them heroes if they are hero for us. If they are mentors for us, we can call them mentors. If they are leaders, I mean, whatever you call them. You can
Yeah.
you
Okay.
can just directly write also. For example, you can write that, okay, president of something like that. You can even write the name. I mean, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's completely okay. So in your mind map, when you're writing, you can even write names. I have some personal mind maps where I literally write the names. When I write, think of teachers, and then I'll put names of 3 teachers who actually encourage me to think big in life. And
Yes.
when I was in a small place where a lot of people were telling me this, you cannot do that, you cannot do. So, particular some teachers, they really pushed me, and so I just write down their names also one by one. Like there are 3 specific names I want to take, so I would write down their names. Then
Mm,
leaders, then significant. There is a poet whose poems I love a lot, and the way he writes poems
yes.
for God, especially, he dedicates all his poems to God. So I
Yeah.
connect so well. So I will write the name of the poet also. So we can even write down names.
Oh, on people, I didn't mention like spiritual
Yeah,
people.
so I'll just write down spiritual.
Yeah.
So if you see, this is so beautiful. You can be, the moment we see this, we feel that there's so much to be grateful about.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking, when I was thinking of a map on one topic, just doing a map on the people that I admire, that I'm grateful for, right? Just,
One
you
map
know,
just for the people. Yeah.
yeah,
We can
yeah,
write down people and then thank you. And then
yeah. And then just start the names and group them. And yeah,
maybe names, or you can even group them like, okay, these are the people from the family. These are the people who have helped me in my spiritual path. These are the people who have helped me in my
yeah,
professional development.
yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, let's go to the last branch. And of course, you can add more branches if you wish. Or would you like to draw this?
I've written I've written it down so that I can
Mm,
draw that.
okay.
Um, I'll probably hang on. That last branch is friends, mentors, teachers, serendipity, leaders, spiritual. Okay, great. Got it. Thank
And
you.
yeah, and finally, how about health? Like I've
Okay.
written only 3, but then you can add a lot more on the health front.
Okay.
Like, for example, if you think that you are gifted with good health and you also exercise daily or whatever it is, or maybe
Right,
example, I had a minor surgery last year, so I feel very grateful that okay, whatever that part of me that was damaged, the doctor took away, and it is now
right,
out of my body, which means
right.
I am fine and I feel grateful for the good health. So anything in fact.
So, my health is not good.
Mhm.
Um, so it's the thing that about health that is good is surgeries worked and I recovered. Um, so my neck is all metal, all held together with metal.
Okay.
And my lower back also has quite a bit of metal in it. And so I don't know how really healthy I am. I have diabetes, but positive side, I'm grateful that I manage my diabetes. I'm really grateful that I don't have any of the medical problems with diabetes because I try so hard to manage it. So that's actually a really good thing.
So you can feel
And
thankful for that you are managing well with all of that.
yeah, and I'm really grateful for that the spine surgeries healed and cured the problem. So spine surgeries worked.
Mhm.
And I'm in my 60s, but they told me that I recovered like someone in their 40s. That
Wow.
made me feel really good. This I
Uh-huh.
was because I really, really wanted to get well. Um, so that's
You
something
had
I'm
that
grateful for.
strong
But
willpower to get well.
yeah, yeah, and take my health seriously. I also take other people's health seriously, so that's important. Um,
Mhm.
the financial situation, it's what great. Um, so easy retirement. My savings and uh, my attention to financials really paid off. Um, so I'm still nervous about it, very nervous about it, because right now have no money, but in a year it will start being very good.
Actually, the whole point of what we do in gratitude, I mean, this entire map now that we are coming to completion of this map, and of course, in future, I mean, because you now have that hand-drawn map with you, you will see that I can see it's a big blank page. Earlier, it was a big blank page, and then you added 4 branches, and you will see there's so much of space for more
Yeah.
to add, which means that there are so many things maybe we would like to add in future, keep adding. And
Yes.
the whole point is that the more we feel grateful for, instead of feeling lack, I mean, of course,
Yes.
you can tell that better than me, I'm sure, but this is my experience that the more I felt lack, the more it went in the reverse direction. And then when I started,
So
okay, I accept, and then I'll start positively and with prayers and everything, things starts changing.
yes, yes. Well, this has been really helpful because you even heard me, I think, kind
Mhm.
of thinking out loud, verbalizing the negative, but then trying to see the positive in it.
Yes, yes.
And
I mean,
I
of
have
course,
to
I've
tell you
seen.
that whenever I like, because the hospital asked me to check in every 3 months and whatever, and it always says, how would you say your health is good, fair, or poor? And I'm like, I always feel like I'm in good health, but I know they'll think
Wow.
it's crazy. I've got, my spinal cord is completely out of whack, and I'm not healthy, but I feel like I have good health. How's that?
What I mean, that's a fighter spirit, I would say. I mean, I
Because I
cannot.
know how much worse it can be. I know, you're not supposed to compare yourself to other people, but I know, well, it was worse for me 2 years ago. So, but I know for many people, it's
Even worse.
devastating. Their health is devastating.
Wow, you're such an inspiration.
Yeah. For mental, I'm just going to say work in progress.
I think we
No,
all,
I'm constantly learning healthier mental habits and things like that. So I'm very grateful for that movement in the mental health.
I'm trying to bring this down, and so that I can show you the entire thing together. Can you
Wow.
see? So we started
Yeah.
with, rarely there was anything in this map. It was a very blank map, which now has so many items,
Yes.
and that's all about you.
Oh,
So yeah,
great.
and you can
Thank you.
keep adding to your branches in the pen and paper also. And
Yeah, because there's this whole area, the doctors that really have kept me alive, So I have to add the doctors.
yeah, maybe in physical health, you can feel grateful for the doctors,
Yeah.
for the advances in medical science that
Yes.
uh, so yeah. So shall we stop this if you have a glance of it once, and then we will move to the next one.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
I'm ready to move.
So I'll take out a next one.
So, Subra, will you include that mind map in the wrap up, the review of
Yeah,
session? Okay,
I'll
great.
send it to you for sure.
Thank you. Oh, yes.
Yeah. So let's do
Yeah.
this today.
So
Yeah, yeah, please
I'm
tell me.
like, I think I'm like 2 words or a sentence away from finishing another article. So, and I have to start another one immediately. So this is going to be great.
Okay. Lovely. So this particular one we call as article writing checklist. So can you see, do you want the background to be this way, black background? Because it's
Yeah,
easier
it's
to see.
fine. It's fine. And I find out that I can see better without my
Okay.
glasses
Okay.
because these are for distance. And
Okay. So if you remember, I have also gone through your, about this MIG, where you will be using the MIG principles and all, and we'll
yes,
come to that also. So similarly, while we are writing articles, and now again, this is just a template that we use. Uh, More or less, we can always tweak it according to our personal requirement or what project we are working upon. But this
yep,
checklist is trying to put in together all the elements or most of the elements of the MIG graph so that it's in a proper flow and in the form of a mind map. So what as mind mappers, what we do, we take the article that we want to write and we put the title at the center. And this all these things we will not do with a lot of colors and all of that. Maybe just a black and red and blue pen is fine. Maybe 2 or 3 colors
oh,
is fine. We don't need, because here like the one you made for the book, the mind map that you made for the book summary,
yep,
that was okay because you have, it's a summary that you want to preserve.
yes,
And this is again more like an intermediate step. Your outcome, the result that you want is your article that is in a written format. But this is more like in the planning phase or the research phase. So in the planning phase, we may or may not want to retain. For example, I want to retain all my mind maps. So I, even if I don't use color pencils, but I would use this ball pens which are colored. So at least all the time I have 3 color pens at least. So what we do is we will write the name of the article at the center, and then we start with the first point that we try to brainstorm. And for example, I would ask myself that how would I open so that the primacy is intact, so that people remember the article in the very first line? They will just have the, that hook or the grab, you will grab their attention in the very first line or in the opening itself. So are you going to use a metaphor or a phrase or a quote, or are you going to ask a question? Are you going to challenge some belief system? So these are just some options of what kind of opening you can have. So we may not select all of this, but any one out of this. So whichever we select, for example, while I was writing an article, I thought about this, and okay, I thought I'll use this metaphor, invisible yoke. Whereas I remember one student of mine was a college student. Uh, he had to present a project where he would be submitting a full project on how he would reduce plastic waste in the school.
Oh,
Okay, and
cool.
it's not about just one day cleaning or one day ban this, ban that. It's not that. He has to create a sustainable plan. So for all the coming years, so it will include awareness, this, that. So for that also, the uh, proposal that he was preparing, even for that, we use the same thing. So what we did there was we started with some questions to the common public, that where are we going, or what are we heading towards. Similarly, another person used a quote that we don't, I forgot the quote, but it was something like this, that we don't inherit, uh,
Mm.
but we borrow. We don't inherit
Oh, yes.
we don't inherit
Borrow from
the
the future.
resources, but we are borrowing from our future, or from the future generations. We are borrowing it from the future generations. So because it is borrowed, we need to take care. I mean, it's not that we can just do whatever we want with it. So somebody started that way. So what we do is we just sit for a while, think about the topic, and then think, can I do any of this in the opening for a primacy effect? And then we write a hook. So I'll just put some keywords. For example, my article is on building a strong relationship at workplace. Just an example. Uh, yeah, building strong relationship at workplace. So I'll think about some hook, that what are the keywords I would like to use in the beginning, or would I like to tell a one sentence, like, maybe it's an article, that in this article I'm going to describe about 5 uh, important ways how we can build better teams, or better, so something like that. So a one line objective, so that the readers of the article, or even if it's a speech, they know that where exactly I'm going to take them. So it's more like giving them a small roadmap in one sentence. So
Yep.
something of that sort. And then we say, okay, in the introduction itself, can we claim, uh, uh,
Ah,
is it visible now? Yeah.
yes. Thank you.
So can we claim importance? Like, why are you talking about this topic? Sometimes some people would like to add that, whereas sometimes I don't add that. But then there are some people who would say, okay, I want to add that I have an authority in this topic, and hence because I have taken this many seminars, webinars, or maybe I have my graduation in this, I have my post graduation in this, and or maybe I have done 1 year of research, and hence I'm saying this. So something like that. Do you want to build the authority? Some people would say, no, I don't want to claim authority, but I want to claim importance of the topic. That yes, building good relationship at workplace is important, because we spend so much of our time at work. So if there we are not happy, when we come back home also will not be happy. So,
Right.
something like that. So maybe the importance. So I generally pick up based on what kind of situation it is, where I'm talking or what I'm writing. So importance or authority, or suppose we don't want to claim authority in the topic, we don't want to tell people that it is very important, let them understand by themselves. But can we say that,
Mm-hmm.
why is this particular talk so important? May not be the entire topic, but this particular talk or this particular article, if they read this, they will at least get a some basic idea about this thing. So this, something
Yep.
of that sort. So we add all of this keywords. So when we are making the mind map, this mind map will serve more like, it's like a map only. Like how when we travel somewhere, we have roughly, okay, this is the route I need to take. So we take the route of, first, in the introduction opening, I have so many options. So what option do I choose? Do I challenge? Do I question? Do I quote, phrase, metaphor? And should I tell them a small one line objective of what the talk is about or what the article is about? Do I need to claim something, authority, importance, or the need? And then once introduction is over, we go to the next one, that is grab the attention, no matter
Mm-hmm.
how mature our readers are, but they will always have some sort of um, because they might lack attention unless it is something for example, I'm reading something for my doctoral research. Now nobody needs to tell
Mm-hmm.
me it is important. I'll anyways go and read because it's a part of the curriculum. But then if
Right, right.
not, but if it's just an article or a speech that we are giving, or even if it's a 10-minute speech or something, then there we really need to build that connection with the audience, whether it is in written form or in this form. So in grab, we again think about, we write down the word argument and we think about, okay, can I add some now? Not all of this are necessary, but this is more like a template. We can use
Mm-hmm.
change it. So argument, that um, in this topic, are there some mindsets or some myths? For example, uh, I was talking to this one teacher who is a Sanskrit teacher. So his main language is Sanskrit and he wants to teach people. But then when he came and when we were designing his curriculum using mind mapping, then I told him, why don't you start with mindsets first? And then he said, what mindset? I said, the basic mindset we have is that only a particular class of people are supposed to teach. Forget about learning. Even not everybody would go and teach. They think that this is something a very it's, yes, it's a very native language, it's a very rich language, but that doesn't mean that not everyone can have access to it. So you first
Yeah.
break that first myth should be that this is a very accessible language and everybody can learn it, and once you learn it you can also teach it. You need to master it.
Mm.
So we started with breaking those mindsets. So in any topic, even in a small topic like workplace relationship, so even there also we will have some mindsets, fixed mindsets with people, some myths around that. So do you want to,
And
yeah,
these are not necessarily the body, they're not the essence of the article, they're things that you bring up to get people interested.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. So the main article will be there, but these are the small, small things that we will put, uh,
Yes.
because of course, if my main article is, let's say, 1500 words, so I'll be writing about, maybe in the introduction, I have written a little bit about all of this. So roadmap, so introduction is over. Then of course, I would want to start with a mindset or myth or something, or maybe if this argument doesn't fit into my article, that I don't want to include a myth or mindset because it's a very known thing. So,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
then there will be some people who would want you to have some kind of research, some statistics, or either from books or newspapers, or maybe some celebrity or a public figure. For example, president of this particular country said this, and this is why this is related. So something of that sort. The moment,
Yes.
all this, when we include in between one or two lines, what happens is uh, we feel more connected. Okay, this topic is, it's not going like a plain monotonous way. So there
Yeah.
are some, spices or elements in between.
Yeah. No, and you've already given gifts to the reader, right? You gave them information. And that's for tech communications, that's a very important part of the exchange, right? I give you this, I writer give you this, you reader give me your attention.
Absolutely, absolutely. So something like that. So research, and then of course we also add what are the sources from where it could be a simple conversation with someone, or maybe you watched a podcast and from there you got this. So the moment in between that paragraph, a small this thing comes in. Okay, this is again important, something like that. So these
So, and
are,
not sources in terms of your bibliography, but just what, where did this idea
yes,
to write on this
yes,
came
yes,
from?
yes, yes. It could be as good, even as simple as, like, I heard this story from my grandmother.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's more like non-technical. Of course, we will add all those references and the thing in the reference section in the bibliography, but this is more like when we are just for the intention is to grab the attention. So
Yes.
with that, or to break the monotony. So just with that. So and the moment it's in the form of a mind map, we just brainstorm, and this entire thing, once it's there, all you have to do is you'll have to sit and just, okay, for this particular article, this, I'm going to put. And then when you go to write, you will see that all those elements will be all, you will not be missing out anything.
Right.
And
Missing any of your good ideas that you had. Okay, this
yeah,
is interesting.
and then okay, let's say you have introduced and you have also grabbed their attention, but then again, if it's, let's say, 2000, 3000, or even 1,000 words article, somewhere in the middle, if you remember that primacy and recency, somewhere in the
Yes.
middle it gets dipped. So we need to
Yeah.
introduce something, a different element in between, like repetition, association, or one rest of effect, if you remember. So any of those can be brought in here.
The misunderstanding I
Yeah,
thought was
yeah, I'm understanding. So any of those can be brought out here in the in maybe when you reach more than the middle of the article, when you have completed 50% of the article. If it's a 1,000-word article, when 500 words are over, that is when you should start adding emotions and all of that. So maybe through some personal stories or general stories, maybe some twist in the story. If it's a speech, it could be some light humor. If it is speech, it could be also a long pause. Suddenly, if you were a very high energetic person on the stage, and I mean while talking, and then you suddenly calm down your energy, and because you're talking about something maybe that is so that you feel so emotional about, or something like that, so that you can always place here. Or maybe some experience, some questions, or you could even ask them some, give them some challenge, throw some challenging questions, or throw some challenges that, do you agree with this, or let's interact for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And in the article, it could be in the form of some thought experiments, or in the form of some strong examples. So anything, it could be even a story of, I remember this a lady who wrote a story about a girl born in, okay, this was not a story, it was a speech she gave, a girl born in so and so family. And as you say it, so similarly, I think we have in all countries where somewhere in some communities, and mostly that even today we have this, that when girl wants to go for some higher education, and also she narrated all those stories. And then when she was almost half done, it was a 7-minute speech, somewhere around fourth minute or fifth minute, she said that, are you thinking it's my story? She says, and then
ah
then we were like, okay, what is coming next? And then she said, maybe yes or no, but statistics says that 4 out of no, 3 out of 5 girls in India even today have to drop out at this. So she gives a statistics. So it was a very complete twist. We were thinking it's her
yeah,
story,
yeah.
and maybe it is her story as well, or maybe she has added a little bit spice into it, god knows.
Right,
But from
right.
the beginning she was saying that, and then when she gave us the statistics, and then she shows some pictures and images of real stories of people who had to, despite having so much of intelligence, despite clearing up some great exams and all of that, they had to marry at this stage. Then girls who revolted and then ended up being single, actually, because the society did
Yeah.
so many things. And also all those short
So my
stories.
mother was right.
So short stories and all, she gave some short stories, and those stories she collected herself from some villages and all. She actually interviewed people and collected those stories. So
That's
so
great.
all those are real sources of stories. So something like that, some challenges, questions, something that will connect with the people. It could either make them any of this emotion, either make them happy, very happy, sad, or something like any of the emotions that will be, because the moment you put in emotions, people will remember whatever they have read otherwise also.
Yes.
And then we say that once we have added this 3 things, then in the conclusion, towards the end of your article or speech, of course, we would want to restate what you, for example, in the opening, you gave something, maybe a metaphor or a phrase or a quote, something that you started with, you would want to restate, not exactly, but something of that sort, that yes, this is what we have come to. And maybe you can always conclude with not the typical call to action, but here what I mean by call to action is something like uh, and asking them to think about this question, or maybe even if it's a technical article also, it could be uh, they would want to think about how much technology has contributed to our lives. So something of that sort. Even in technology, for
Mm-hmm.
example, I remember this Zoom story of mine where I lost a huge contract because the first time I went on Zoom, I knew nothing. It was all a mess. And then the people, I mean, I actually prepared a proposal. I emailed them. They were very happy with it. And I felt so upset that just it was in 2020 beginning or 2019 end, somewhere around that time, that just because of that, they had canceled the entire
Oh,
check. So
oh,
I have written about it on LinkedIn as well, that this is my starting of Zoom story. And then I decided that I am going to do this every day because that day I could not fix. That was the first time I did. So
oh,
so even in technology, there can be some emotional stories or something like that. And so we restate, and yeah, so hence I call it, article writing checklist, because when we have all of this in place before starting the article, so we ensure that we don't miss out something that is so interesting and can contribute to making the article even better.
yeah. I love how this is about the structure. Like these are the elements that you're going to have. This is the scaffolding that you're going to put together for the article. It's topic independent, right? It's you can imagine this map applying to any topic of any kind. So that's really good.
Thank you.
And it's much more than just did you do your research? Did you check your sources? Did you blah, 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 blah? It's really about how to write an interesting article.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I think it's more than a checklist.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you for saying that. And recently, a student of mine, as I said, that boy is 15 years. So he wrote an article using this checklist live in the session, and we were using a timer. So I think he took 12 minutes or something to write down the things. And then he said, "Can I use Google?" I said, "Okay, please use." So he used Google on the screen itself, and then he did it. And of course, in 12 minutes, not like a very nice article, it was only a draft, but he could speak. The interesting thing was that he could speak for 4 to 5 minutes about all his ideas, almost like
Oh,
a speech.
great.
Yeah, and of course, the article he took another day to nicely polish it and write it nicely. So, of course, that will need time because you have to think about the language and all of that when you write. It's much more, a lot of work
Yeah.
actually. Writing takes more work than speaking.
Yeah.
At least I feel so. I don't know
Well,
about
you
others.
have to be so precise, right? With speaking, it's okay if people just kind of catch the peaks, the highlights. But in writing,
You have to be so
some
perfect.
people read very detailed. So using an or instead of an and will
Yeah,
confuse people.
yeah, it will confuse people. And then in writing, you have to be so perfect. You just, of course, it cannot be the best one, but still you have to give your best in writing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. So did you like this article writing checklist?
Yes, definitely, definitely. I think it would not be the only checklist because I would want like who is the audience? What are you trying to make them do or think? But that's a different kind of
Mhm.
thing that you have to think through with the writing, right? So
Mhm.
um yeah,
So this
very
is just
good.
one of it, and I'll also show you some more on. I mean, in the sessions, I'll also show you some more on. For example, you are just conducting research for an article. Just let's say you're writing an article and you want to do research. So that's a complete again different thing. That's like we call it the blueprint. This is more like,
Mm,
okay, what are these elements present there in my article or not? This,
yes,
like, did I
yes.
touch in the conclusion? Did I restate whatever I said in the beginning? Do I have some interesting elements like stories or research? I mean, some interesting citing some public figures so that people say, okay, he also said this or she also said
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Just for the audience. And the other one that I'll show you is more towards, it's like a blueprint. I won't call it a checklist. It's like a blueprint with proper step by step that are we doing this, this, this. And then if we follow this, we can actually come up with an article or a book. Even a book we can do with that very
Wow.
easily. Yeah. So I'll definitely show you that too.
Okay, great. Yes.
Yeah.
But this is really useful. This because the hardest things to write are the introduction and the conclusion.
Yeah.
of an article, right? So
Yeah.
you've mapped out the hardest parts, your how to get them written.
Thank
Great.
you. Thank you. I generally prefer this too. Either I would like to have a metaphor or a question or a challenge.
Mm,
Quotes
mm,
and phrase. Quotes, generally I keep it for the end. And yeah,
yeah, cool.
I would now take you to this. And I read this and I love the way you have put all of this, you will be using what. And may I request you to make a mind map of this, or
Yeah, sure.
like what we would do is, I mean, this you can do even in the coming week, but then what you would do is you will say MIG applications, like MIG and applications in your own life. So MIG applications, and then you put
Yep,
one branch that is presentation. And then under presentation, there is another branch that primacy, and then just one point. What will be the, I'll just put it here. I'll put it here.
yep, yep.
I'll put it in this color. So primacy is the
Yes,
subheading. And under primacy, we have agenda.
yep.
So let's say we'll follow this color. Okay, this color is not good. It's too dark. Okay, let me put this. Yeah. So primacy and agenda. And then what else? Sequence. We'll also
Uh,
put in the sequence. So I think
yeah.
agenda is sequence.
If you follow your agenda when you write your slides, I've just worked with so many people who just
Mm.
forgot they had an agenda and just start
Oh, okay.
rambling.
Okay. So yeah, we can have this, that presentation is the first branch. From presentation comes out primacy. From primacy
Yep,
comes out most important point first, and then in agenda, and then most
yep,
important point first. So something key, just keywords we can put.
yep, yep,
Then recency will be the next branch out of presentation, let's say. And then under recency, again, you are saying that, okay, emphasize another point, second most important point, use final position. So what do you
yep.
want to, and then repetition. What do you want? You would repeat the most important on the, in the entire topic. There is one core message that you want to repeat. So repeat it 3 times, and then make a good analogy, and whatever. So can we make a mind map of this when we, I mean, in the coming week?
Yes,
And then
yes,
writing articles, and from there, you can, instead of writing articles and technology, yeah, this is good. Otherwise, if you just want to use 2 words, we can write down technology articles.
yep, yep,
And we say under technology articles, again, these are 3: primacy, recency, and creative. And from
yep.
there, just some keywords and explaining something or making a point to family. So communication,
Yeah,
or even sometimes we can say self-expression or whatever it is, something like that.
yeah.
So yeah, we have 3 main branches, and if you come up with some more, you even, for example, you said articles and communication and presentations. If there's anything else,
Well, it could be general interest articles or general articles.
yeah.
That would
So
be a little different.
yeah, so general, we can add one more, and then we can have, let's say, D, and then we say general articles.
Right.
And if we
That would
have
be
a
another
mind map of
branch.
this, yeah. So if we have a mind map of this, like it's more like, okay, these are the areas where I want to use mind mapping from now onwards.
Yep, yep.
Not mind mapping. These are the areas where I want to use MIG principles.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And I love this notes, the power of
Oh,
healthcare. And yeah, I have seen this. And you can try, I mean, where is your, I'll just, I'll share your mind map also with you. I have taken it out. So yeah, this is about it. So I've seen the notes and everything. So did you find this book useful? I love
yes.
this. I love this book.
And the next one too. I just haven't finished it yet, so I didn't.
Okay, which talks about how
From
you get
Tony
the,
Buzan and
yeah,
yeah,
that's a lovely book. That's a lovely book.
It's so dense in information.
True. And though the book is just some close to 50 pages or something, but the amount of information is a lot. And it talks about
Wow.
how as we grow older and older, we are only supposed to get wiser and creative. That's what Tony Buzan says. It's not what people have been telling us, the
That
opposite.
your brain is dying. Yes.
He says opposite, and he shows with research. He shows with research.
That's where I started kind of getting not lost as in, oh, I don't know what he's saying, but like, oh, I want to really learn this. Got very absorbed into the research he was showing.
Yeah. So yes, so could we make a mind map up till here? Of course, there will be another one now,
Yes.
general
Yes.
articles D. So this will be
Yes.
one, kind of assignment.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll want to show you one more mind map if you have time.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is again a mind map of less is more, and of course you can use just like last week how we have made a mind map of confused and how we
Mm-hmm.
take our decisions and all of that. I think somehow I'm so sorry I forgot to attach the picture of that mind map. I was just going through the workflow link and I said, okay,
Okay. Yep.
I
Yep.
forgot to do that, and I'm so sorry for that.
No, that's okay.
But I thought I have sent it, and today I realized I didn't. So, I'll
Oh,
do it in
well, it's really shocking to realize that you're not perfect. You
no,
do everything so well.
no, it's not. I'm by no means I'm perfect. I'm the most imperfect person. But then I wrote it and I felt I have sent it. And today when I was going, I thought, okay, I have written it down again and I'll do that. So this is a kind of similar map, but this is more about buying decisions. Uh, so may or may not be useful to you, but I mean, I'll just show this. For example, we say that less is more, and then suppose I want to buy something, then I ask myself, why do I need to buy? And then I ask myself, okay, write down 5 reasons, and that 5 reasons should be other than trend and peer and cultural pressure. These are not included in the reasons. I cannot write because my friends have. I cannot write because it's trendy. Other than
Right, right, right,
that, what are the 5 genuine reasons that I need whatever it is? It could be a pair of shoes or the most latest
right.
smartwatch or maybe a new car or whatever it is. And then I keep asking, am I sure it's not just because of my of peer pressure or cultural pressure, or why do I need this? And it could be just anything in life. And then I ask, what if I buy?
Yep,
Ask myself, what problems will it resolve or solve? And will
yep.
it add to my burden if I buy it? For example, just a case, for example, that I already own a car or maybe something, and then I'm planning to buy a bigger car, and then will it add to the maintenance? How many times in a year do I really travel that I need a big SUV, and then how many times do I travel to places? So, and will it add to my financial burden? Will it add to my
Right.
mental burden of taking care of it? So something of that sort. So what it could be even with a house or something, anything. So will it add burden? And if I buy, what will be the use frequency? And how will it make my life easier? For example, I'm just buying something. It could be a simple thing like a smartwatch. And how is it going to, okay, if I tell myself I'm going to track my steps, I'm going to track this, that, and I want to monitor my sleep, something, and I have some good reasons, then it's fine. But then how will it make my life easier? And is it going to save my time or energy or something,
Yep.
And what if I don't buy? Again, I ask myself, what if I don't buy? And then I say 3 honest reasons that, okay, if I don't buy, this is, the mountains are now going to fall apart or something like that.
Right. I'll have this money still.
So what if I don't buy something like that? And then uh, if it's clothes or shoes or even maybe some
Oh, I like this
ho-
option.
household
Yes.
household equipments. Sometimes we have options where we can borrow, rent, or also we ask that the thing that I'm going to add, if particularly I'm someone who is environmental conscious, is the thing environmental friendly, or I'm just buying a piece of plastic and just accumulating it just to throw it after a year or something? Is it
Yep.
sustainable? And once again, at the end, while I complete the mind map, I once again ask myself this, $1 million question: Can I manage without
Yeah.
buying it?
Right. Right.
So this is a kind of
I
mind
love
map,
this.
but and hence the title is less is more. If you see
Yes.
that, just and you can actually change this mind map, tweak it a little bit, and use it for any other decision making also. This is about buying, but instead of buying, it could be anything else, a small
Right.
decision. Yeah. So this
Because
is
there's
about
the why, what if,
what if I do, what if I don't do,
don't.
and
Right.
what are the options available.
Yep.
If I don't do, what are the options available without buying or without doing that thing also? What are the options available? For example,
Yep.
as I said, when I was doing this Tony Buzan course, so if there were 10 people, if I had asked 15 people, 10 people would have said, not 10, I would say 12 people would have said, no, don't do it. Already there are books available. You can learn from the books. And why do you need to spend that much money and learn and understand and go through an exam, that too at this age when you're already well settled? Why do you have to go through all of that again? So of course, when people say this, there is the self-doubt that creeps in, and I also start asking question. And I feel good when people ask this kind of uh, when people give a no to me instead of yes, because
Yeah. Kind
the
of a
no is better.
challenging answer.
Yeah, because the moment I find the answers for that no, it's the conviction will be even stronger. And if I give in, it only means that my conviction was never strong enough. So,
Yes.
I mapped out something of this sort, that why I want to do that course, and is it just because I want to have that tag? No, I really want to learn. So already I have been doing mind mapping for so many years now. So what is that extra thing I'm going to learn? I said, no, I want to learn from them and go deeper. So how many hours will I need to invest per day? Now, if it is asking like I need to invest some 4 hours per day, do I actually have that time or not? So simple decisions. And I ask, then suppose I want to upgrade my phone, and I want to get the new phone. So do I really need it? And then I kept it aside for 3 months. Okay, for the 3 months, I felt there was no need at all. Though I was wanting to buy, almost the next day I was going to the shop, and I have called
Oh,
them that, oh, do you have this model? And then I did this math, and I said, okay, I really don't need it right now. I have it, and it's working fine. It's just more like, that craze of buying
yeah.
it because I might have seen some commercials on the TV.
Right. Right.
I
Right.
said, okay, let me
Or,
give it.
or really important is, yes, you want it, but when? Right. So you
Exactly.
realize that I
Not
don't need it
immediately.
now. And I think at least in America, we certainly don't ask ourselves that question.
So yeah, and even if it is small questions, and somebody might have all the money to buy it, but then it's always at least we feel that it's always good to ask questions and hold on for a moment and let 3 days pass.
Yes.
And even after three
Yes.
days, I feel that okay, I really need this, and all of those questions only directs me to there. And then once also there is another point here, that once particularly for big decisions like buying a house or buying an extra land or something, in India we have so many people who will have a house to stay, but they would again invest in real estate, or they will buy a piece of land somewhere someday after retirement. They will stay there, and or they'll build a
Y-
farmhouse, and they will just keep it like that. And what they do is they will buy, and then later they will regret, because it's that we have taken this loan and now we are not able to manage. But when we do this kind of mind mapping, or maybe just questioning yourself,
Yeah.
so once you've taken the decision, you know that okay, this were about to come, so you don't feel anxious anymore, even if you feel that the decision was wrong or right. So even that
Yep.
is, yeah, a great part about it.
Yeah. Yeah. That you at least looked at all the angles.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll
Right.
stop sharing.
I
And
hope our next class I'll have my new glasses.
sure. I wanted to share something with you.
Okay.
So actually, I'm going through a treatment, a procedure for where I'm having to take injections on a daily basis. So kind of today I had got 2 doses. and it's for the child. I mean, we are planning for family planning, so it's a
Oh,
part of the
wonderful.
process. Yeah. So both me and my spouse, we finally decided that okay, let's go for it. And there were some issues with natural way, and I mean, all of that happened. And I also underwent a surgery last year. I removed the gallstone, so it's not a major surgery, but then
Oh,
I was so scared. But then
yes.
it all went well by God's grace. So this year, I mean, we have finally decided to go for, through IVF and not through the.
Yes, yes.
So the process is a little hectic, and I'm already on my 6th or 7th day of injection.
I've heard
So
it's also a very emotional process,
yeah,
like a
uh,
roller
I
coaster.
cried today when I came out because they made me sign so many documents. And I said,
Oh,
okay, this is too much for me. And my spouse was like, do you really want this? I said, okay, I've already taken, 9 doses of injection till today is day 6, but I have taken 9 doses already. And I can see all spots in my body already. So now I am not going to stop it. I'm going to continue it. And I have faith in God. Let's see whatever, comes. But my point was that maybe next, I'm not sure if today also I came back from the hospital at 4 and I slept because I was
oh,
feeling this nausea and all of
yes.
that. Then by 6 in the evening, I'm in India. I was fresh, and then uh, I thought that okay, once I see you and the once we start interacting, I'll forget all of that. Actually, I did not feel any pain or anything while I was talking to you. I forgot everything.
Oh, great. Oh, good. You're in the flow.
So next week, by Thursday, I should be fine. I mean, the injection, the first phase of it should be over by next week, Thursday. But in any case, if there is some emergency, I will let you know so that we can maybe
Okay.
reschedule 1 or 2 days
Yes.
here and there.
Yes.
So,
Absolutely.
so I would,
Yeah.
request you to please, help me out with that rescheduling in any case.
Yeah. No, yes, yes. And I'll say a prayer. I'll say some prayers, not just one. Also, yeah, because it's a big step. It's a scary step. It's ugh. Anyways, and there's so many decisions to make along the way. I think I've had some
Yeah.
friends to go through it. So yeah, no, my mornings are pretty much are all free, really.
Okay, so
So
that's
I can move anything around.
so I'll
Just
still tell you at least 1 day before so that you
okay.
have that time and this thing.
All
And
right.
the other thing was, I would I mean, because this is our 5th session, but I would want 3 more sessions with you because, this is part of the main session only. It's not some extra charge or anything because there are so many more things that I would want to share in this mind mapping. And because the book mapping blueprint is left, the one that will need at least 40 minutes for both of us to understand. And
Yes.
there's a lot more of things. So we will not be completing just last week, but at least maybe 3 to 4 more sessions. We will
Okay.
keep meeting. And once we both feel that we are comfortable, and now you can start mind mapping, even though we don't meet, and you can actually start doing, then we will stop. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I very much appreciate that. I would look forward to learning as much as possible. And yeah, right now I feel like I'm at kindergarten level of mind mapping. I can kind of do a speed map and I can do a few of the other approaches, but I'm sure there are better things and more ways to apply mind mapping that I haven't even thought about.
Sure, sure. And yeah, this is the beautiful map that you have made. And
Yeah.
you mentioned that you could actually add some more points, which you
Yes.
feel.
And so I sent you a new photograph with
Mhm.
the more points
Surely,
added.
surely, sure.
Because I didn't wait to hear back from you. I basically early, like at 5 o'clock this morning, decided this is my mind map. If I want to put more detail in it, I can.
Yes, of course. So that is the best part of mind map is, there's no one rule that yes, you just cannot put. It's your mind map and you can keep putting. And unless it looks, I mean, if it looks clumsy or even it's too, some people would decorate a lot. But if it makes meaning to the person who is creating it, that's fine. So
How did
two,
you like my picture in the middle?
yeah, I,
A hand with power or whatever
I love
coming
that.
out or reaching out.
Yeah, some
So
radiance, yeah, some some.
yeah, I did not practice radiant thinking. I will.
So yeah, that is again another thing, conscious or intentional, divergent and radiant thinking. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
So yeah, I think yeah, we
Okay.
have reached 8:23, and I
All
mean
right. Well,
8:20.
I wish
Yeah,
you a good week, you know,
yeah, it's
pain
little
free.
painful, but then yeah, I think I'll endure. Here we say here that yeah, pain will be there, but we won't suffer.
Ooh, yes, because you can, with your mind, decide that you're not
So yeah,
suffering.
we'll endure the pain, and but then together with the family, I mean, my spouse is my support. So yeah, together we'll endure.
Good, good,
Keep
good.
me in your prayers. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
So,
Okay.
and it was great to know about you and your. I didn't know about your health issues. You are always smiling and all of that. So it never occurred to me that actually you had gone through all of this. So
Yeah, yeah. For in the last 3 years, I had 6 months of medical leave to recover from the 2 spine surgeries, and I made the huge mistake of taking my last morphine pill the day before I started work. So I was comfortable with that I would not be on morphine while I was working. But I should have left a week so I would know what it was like to not be on morphine after having been on it for 3 months. You know, it's like technically I was through the withdrawal, it was done, but I hadn't built back the normal feelings yet because the stuff, I think, stays in your body longer than you realize.
yeah.
So that was not good. That was an extremely stressful reentry. Um, but yeah.
Then
Now
you.
I tell everyone who's going out for surgery, go add an extra week to withdraw, to finish the adjustment
Mm.
after withdrawing from the
that
pain
that
medication.
that period is needed actually. Mm.
Yeah.
It's so important.
And you
Yeah.
have to fight for it because the insurance company
Mm.
thinks, no, you're done with your drugs. You can go back to work. So, but you're
Mm.
not really done when you take the last pill. That's
And the
not.
body needs a lot of time, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's not just like robot that okay, and everybody,
No.
every human
And
is
I did a
different.
lot of reading to try to find a detox tea
Okay.
that would like detoxify your body from unknown substances. And I couldn't find them. So there are things called detox teas, but they're for if you've had too much alcohol or something mostly involved with the stomach. So it's kind of interesting.
Mm.
So I believe in teas. I think
I
teas
love
are good
tea.
medicine.
I love tea.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was
All right.
great knowing
See you
different
next
side of
week.
you. Yeah, see you, and yeah,
Thank you.
have a great day and a great weekend ahead. Take
Thank you.
care.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Yeah.
Oh, leave. Yes.